What's up, YouTube? Paul here. So, had a good day yesterday. 9-2. Picked up on the Dodgers, Chicago White Sox, St. Louis, which we were at the game. That was a lot of fun here in, say the Oakland A's, but Sacramento Athletics, Seattle, Milwaukee, New York, Pittsburgh. Really good come up. So the only ones that didn't hit were Atlanta, which to me, I knew that was kind of questionable. As good as the Braves are playing and the Cubs being on a little bit of a downturn, but they got a solid lineup, so you know they're going to bounce back. Didn't know if it was going to be that final game of the series, so that's how it goes. We had Atlanta on the line, plus Atlanta minus 1.5, so those were the two dogs for the day. Can live with that. Yeah, that was the same with Seattle. We had Seattle on the line, Seattle minus 1.5, Milwaukee on the line, Milwaukee minus 1.5. So sometimes we'll do that depending on the lineup, the games, who's pitching, and then again, just listening to other, I guess, whatever you want to call it, analysis from other YouTubers and some other info we look at as far as which direction we're going to go in, weighing different thoughts out. And yeah, a lot of great research out there, a lot of great info on who to take. But again, still kind of have to weigh your thoughts out and flip that coin on which way to go. So definitely gonna continue to kind of narrow things down. Videos. We were on the road. We were out in Texas. My son and I helped my daughter move into their new home. So that was part of the reason for no video. Still played, and I'll tell you, like anything, it was kind of have one good day, a bad day, good day, bad day. I think part of that was, again, needing to narrow down the focus on where the bets are going. And then second thing was probably a few days would have been better just to back out on some, not having the time to jump on and really look at the bets. So that was definitely kind of lesson learned on my end. But either way, we're here. So we have some catching up to do overall in the red for the week, but a couple good days. So getting us closer to being back in the green. We'll see how today goes. I'm interested to see what people are going to do on the two NBA games. Yeah, I don't know. Detroit and Cleveland, that's a rough one. I may just avoid it altogether. So far, that series has not paid off well, and it's been an interesting one. I mean, Detroit just seems like they cannot get too many steady rolls going. When they're down, they'd be down 10, 12, get back to within 2, and then give that lead right back up. So yeah, I don't know. San Antonio will probably lean the Spurs. Hard to fade them. I know some folks are looking at the points, with Minnesota, but yeah, I don't know. Hard to fade the Spurs there, at least my 2 cents. So that's probably be rolling with the Spurs. I don't know if we're going to do, so initially I was thinking about 1 to 2 unit bets. Now I'm kind of retracting that to some regards, thinking maybe 1, if not half unit bets, playing on two different platforms. So we'll see. I think on one of them yesterday, San Antonio was minus 5.5, which I bought in on both. This morning, one of them's up to minus 6.5 points. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure at some point they'll be up, where you can bounce out if you need to. But yeah, I don't know. Thinking different strategies here, and definitely, for myself, it's more just trying to stack up consistent wins. They don't have to be monster wins. Just trying to stay in the green, stack them up, see what we can do. And we got some more on that. We'll get into in another video, and like to hear some of your folks' thoughts. What got you into sports betting? What are your goals? Do you have any goals with it? Or is it just kind of a, fun little hobby, little adrenaline thing? You just toss some money out there. And the reason I say that is I have some friends that's their end. Is it's just I don't want to say the high of win, lose, watching it up and down, but for them, that's really what they're doing. Different financial levels, but for myself, kind of have some different goals with it. But in order to hit those goals, you got to stay consistent. You got to stick to your plan, and you can't chase. And probably to some degree, as many spreading the board out the way I've been doing it probably isn't the best idea. Yesterday, we were up on the boards a little more. So the 9-2, that was on DraftKings, Robinhood. I don't have all the bets written down, but similar bets. But I had also some first 5 bets, Nerfies in there. 2 of the Nerfies hit, one didn't. First 5, I think one or 2 hit and 2 did not. So relatively close here. But I can say, at one point it was definitely up a little more in the green, and then it kind of bounced back down. Philly and Chicago were kind of later ads. They weren't on the initial list. They came through, but then I was also, I don't know. That's where I was kind of, did we have to play them? What were the reasonings? Were they that good? Or were we just playing to play? So anyways, these are all things I'm looking at. Again, a little different. This isn't the channel of, here's what you should do and why as far as who to take, but more just multiple reasons of doing this and seeing if I can keep myself consistent and somewhat controlled there as someone who used to, play cards, bet, and learn through that up and down of chasing, winning, losing more, trying to get back to even. And that was a key thing I used to tell friends, like when we'd play cards or they would be playing cards, is once you start telling yourself you just got to get back to where you were, you're probably in trouble. Time to walk away. So with this, that's another thing, is kind of testing that restraint and control, being able to put the beds out. If it's good, great. If it's not good, we'll catch it another day. So anyhow, 9-2 yesterday on DraftKings, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 11-4, 11-5 on Robinhood, and different size bets. So even on a day where we might go, 6-4, it may still end up in the red. So again, just managing, learning. I was hoping last week to really sit down, list out some more stuff, get some more things down, but yeah, just didn't have the amount of free time we thought we would while being away from the office with helping my daughter move. But anyhow, we're back, so we're going to try to dive into more of that here for anyone interested. We did pick up a package play. Kind of that's another thing I want to do, is I'm curious to see how some of these things pan out, right? There's definitely folks out there that, as they say, they've got, long runs, staying in the green in general, pick up these packages. Picked one up with Steve Merrill at Wager Talk. We did the 30 plus 10-day package. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to track that separately. And not to say that every play they suggest or that they're taking that I'm going to take, although probably should, I guess, best way to take it. So maybe we'll do that on a separate tally just to track, because I'm curious to see how it plays out. So we'll work on that. I've taken a few plays. 1 or 2 did not hit. I would say about 3 or 4 did, and a few I passed on. But we'll keep a total on that. Run through, see how it goes. Yeah, smart guy. Sounds like he's been doing this a long time, making a living at it. So yeah, again, a lot of it's thinking long term. It's not what you win today, and unless that's what you're trying to do, quick double up if that's your thing. But yeah, looking at this more of a long term deal, just something to, hopefully stay in the green more in the red and build up a bankroll, stack some barrels. So with that, guys, we'll be back either later or tomorrow. Let me know what your plays are for today, MLB, NHL, NBA, and we'll catch you on the next one. Be good, everybody.